All right, we are live for Tutorial Tuesdays. Welcome, guys. We've got this going on Zoom and on YouTube. So I'm going to be looking for chats if you guys have any questions. Guys, if it's your first time here, welcome. We do this every Tuesday at 12:30 Central Time. I'm going to grab my hat over here. My hair looks a little crazy. We do this every 12:30 every Tuesday, 12:30 Central Time. And the goal of this is to look into Genie Rocket, which is powered by High Level. So if you are currently using Genie Rocket, you can ask any question you want. This is kind of like the open office hours where you can come in, you can ask questions. We can look at campaigns. If you are currently running an ad campaign and you want to look at some of that together, this is a great place to come in and do that. So I am so glad that you are here. And let me do something real quick here and we can get started. All right. Okay. So the neat thing about being tethered to High Level, which is our operating system, is we have access to some of the world's best developers and the world's best technology, and we're able to leverage that for you guys. So High Level has been acquiring lots of different companies. They've been really working on user experience, on functionality. And let's be honest, like a tool is just a tool. The special part is whenever you can leverage that technology and actually get results. Like if you can send out emails, send out texts, build landing pages, take payments, have automations, have a lot of these things work behind the scenes, or even have it where if you need to do something, you know exactly how to do it. It's kind of like going into your kitchen, and if you're making a meal, you know where everything is and you're able to put it together and make it. Instead of just going into a kitchen that has every single ingredient, you kind of know what you want to make, but you don't know where to find anything, and it just becomes absolute chaos. I liken that to something like Genie Rocket because yes, it can absolutely be overwhelming to have all of these tools. And a lot of people that come in here, if they get confused, it's because they don't know exactly what they want to do. And therefore, they don't know the tools to do what they kind of know what they want to do because they don't really know what they're trying to bake, right? What the outcome is trying to be. So I like to encourage people whenever you're coming in here and you're trying, no matter what marketing tools you're using, is come in with the end in mind. What is the goal you're trying to accomplish? For example, this morning I got up super early. I do very early morning runs, training for some big races. So I got up early this morning and was gonna meet a group of guys for F3 at 5 a.m. And we had like tornado watches happening. So we made it there and came back home. All that to say, I had a little bit of extra time once I got home before I normally get my kids up, take them to school. So I was able to send out an email to a list I have not sent out in a while. And the goal was I'm going to try to get more booked appointments for this very specific thing by sending an email to a very specific group. So what I was able to do was spend that extra time, go into Genie Rocket and send a very specific email and then select my very specific group and then send that out. And then do the same thing with text message saying, I want to create a condensed text message that says a very specific thing to a very specific group and schedule it for later in the day. So because I knew exactly what I wanted to accomplish, I was able then to easily go in and execute that task without getting lost or frustrated or confused because I knew what I wanted. So I know sometimes we might not know exactly what tools to use, or we might not know exactly what we want to do. And that's where like strategy and planning comes into place. So if you're an organization, for example, and you say, man, I really need to generate more leads for my business, what I recommend you doing is figuring out where do my dream customers spend all their time? Is it on Facebook? Is it on Instagram? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it at networking events? Is it at conferences? Is it at specific conferences? Is it at specific networking events? Because what you don't want to do is be climbing up the wrong mountain and realize once you get to the top, You spend all that energy and all that effort and all that time climbing up the wrong mountain. That's what you don't want to do. So make sure you know who your dream customer is and then where you should find them. Um, I hopped on one of our Genie Rocket customers accounts yesterday with them, and they are in the accounting space. And we launched Meta ads, so across Instagram and Facebook. And we had one ad, we had one budget, we have not touched it in months. And when we opened it back up, guess what? It generated 50 leads and they were ecstatic saying, "Hey, this helped generate sales." I said, "Did you get any sales from these leads?" And they're like, "Yep, we've got lots of great sales from them." And they're going to continue to refine it to get better results. So for them, they now have an on and off switch. When they need to get in leads, they have a program they can follow and they know, hey, we can get leads from Meta with this specific ad. And if we need to make it better, so in their case, like, hey, how do we get more qualified leads? And so instead of us starting all over and starting from zero, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out, okay, what makes a great qualified lead? What questions can we ask them on the Meta form? So if they're looking for people that make more money, that might need a little more premium result, and they want to offer two options. One of those options is, hey, this is a do-it-yourself course that we're going to give you at a low cost. And the other is, hey, we're going to give you our premium service because you make a little more and you can afford it. So what we don't want to do is disrupt what's already working and say, hey, let's just turn off ads altogether, and let's start a brand new ad campaign with a brand new audience and see if we can get a different result. Instead, we're going to do what's called conversion optimization. We're going to say, how do we take an ad that's already working and boost it and get more qualified leads and better results? So what we do is we might ask a better question on the ad. Instead of just name, email, phone number, we might say name, email, phone number. And we could say, do you make X amount of money, like $500,000 or more for your business? Yes or no? Next question, have you ever worked with a CPA? Yes or no? Next question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it that you have all of your financials in order to have a successful year? 1 to 10. And then based on those questions, so what we're going to do is when they fill that out on Meta, it's still going to come in as a lead. And we could say, if they answered it this way, we're going to take them down this path. And if they answered it another way, we're going to take them down another path. So that's one option. The other option is they all go to the same landing page. So once they fill out that form, they might get a text or email that says, click this link for your next step. They click the link for the next step, and boom, um, opens up a window or a browser page. It's a video from the owner saying, hey, thank you so much for your interest in working with us. We want to make sure that we've got the exact right solution for you. So before we present you with the next step, please fill out this short survey below. And that survey goes to a little more detailed questions. And then how they answer that survey will determine whether they go into a calendar link to book a direct consult, or if they go into the you're qualified for our course program. Take payment, give them access to course, right? That's a great example of optimization, where instead of us, again, just starting over, we're trying to figure out how do we take what's already working and make it a little bit better. Another option, I just got off a call with one of my buddies who's a very has done very well coach. He's exited several businesses. He's been the CEO for several businesses, and we're trying to find a way to position him in the marketplace that's a little bit unique. So if you are not known and you are trying to market yourself, a product or a service, instead of you spending a decade plus trying to just build your brand because you actually need money to pay the bills, and side note, you still need to build your brand. You still need to take those drip by drip, brick by brick steps to build it. But in the meantime, you have to do things that are going to be generating revenue. So one thing you can do is you position an alternative to your product or service and you challenge it. I'm not saying you crush it or you destroy it or you tear it apart. Um, but for example, I'm trying to think without giving away exactly what he's doing, because I know he's working on it right now. Let's say you have let's see, like a lawn care company. And let's say everybody in your city is using Acme Lawn Care, and it's the known brand. They're the 800-pound gorilla. Everyone's going to them, and no one's really questioning them. And you're just a little guy. It's like David and Goliath. You're just trying to make it and get some of that business. And there's something that you truly believe and that you have conviction around of why some people need to use you instead of the Acme Lawn Care Company. So what you can do is you start doing some ads, and the messaging isn't about just your features and benefits or the name of your company, right? Because people understand what lawn care is, and people might not want the cheapest. So it's like you have the good, fast, and cheap. How do people know if they can trust you if you're kind of new? It can take a lot of money and a lot of time, especially on ads, to get results, unless you do what I'm about to tell you. So if you go and position your biggest competitor and challenge them in a good way, you're already using their name recognition and you're bringing people into your world. So for example, you could say, "Hey, before you hire Acme, make sure to watch this video." Or before you hire a landscaping company or a lawn care company, make sure you watch this video first. What's that going to do? Well, if you are looking, or the people that are looking to make a buying decision for that thing are all of a sudden going to be questioning what they need to hear before they make that decision. So you are positioning yourself as a challenger, saying, before you do this, make sure you watch this thing. And in that video, what I'm about to tell you is really important. This is not a bashing video. You don't say, hey, don't hire any other company but us, or don't hire Acme, and here's why. What you say is, hey, look, there are a lot of companies to choose from, and not all companies are bad companies. And I am not going to throw anyone under the bus. But I want to tell you why people like you hire companies like mine ended up with great results. So you turn the whole thing around. It's not bashing anybody. You're just highlighting why they should hire you. And that's where you can talk about, our team shows up on time, mostly early, and we care about quality so much that we go the extra mile by doing X, Y, and Z. And we actually have some openings in our schedule because we just brought on some new team members. And the next X amount of people that book, we're going to give this special discount, right? We're going to do $50 off, $300 off, $500 off, and we can get you on this schedule. The downside with some of the bigger guys is their schedules are pretty booked. And guess what, guys? They do a really good job. I can't bash their work. They do a great job. And we also pride ourselves on our work, and we think we do just as good, if not slightly better. So if you're looking for someone that can be there on time or early, do an excellent job, and pay about the same, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, I would love to earn your business. So before you make a decision on a big brand generic solution, here's why I think you should consider having a conversation with us first. That's it. So if you can have that kind of messaging, you can really start to persuade people to make a decision for you. One thing I'm guilty of saying all the time is Mark Zuckerberg will gladly take your money. It's easy to run ads and pay money. What's hard is the messaging and the strategy. If Acme Lawn Care Company just ran ads that said, Acme Lawn Care, get your lawn done, we do a great job, get a quote, could that work? It could. It's probably going to cost a lot of money, take a lot of time, and you're going to be very frustrated at the results. But if you spend the same money, you're using the same ad platform, but instead we say, before you hire another landscaping or lawn care company in insert city here, you must watch this video, or you have to watch this video, right? So you're helping them avoid danger and you're challenging competition and you're creating a question. They want to close the loop, right? Again, think of it as if you were making a decision, if you were buying a pair of shoes, a watch, new clothes, a house, a car, big purchase or small purchase, and you are scrolling through Meta on Facebook or Instagram, and you see an ad that says before you buy this thing that you are strongly considering to buy, make sure to watch this video first. Do you think you're going to watch it? Man, I sure hope so. I know I would. If I was looking at like a new pair of running shoes and I was just about to buy them and it said, hey, before you buy these new shoes, make sure to check this video out first. I'm going to be extremely curious because I'm going to think that video is going to do one of two things. It's going to prevent me from making a huge mistake where I avoid danger, or it's going to give me further confidence in making the buying decision, right? It could say, hey, before you buy these shoes, there's something you need to know. Option one, these shoes actually fall apart pretty easily. They look great. They last great for 25 miles. And after that, they just fall apart. They're terrible. Whatever you do, don't buy them. They just helped me avoid a costly mistake. The other option could be, hey, before you buy these shoes, there's something you need to know. What you need to know is you will never have to buy another pair of shoes again like this for at least 300 miles. They are high quality. Your feet are going to love them. They're high cushion. They're great for these kind of runs. And if you're this kind of person, you're going to love these shoes. And I'm expecting going in there, it's going to be one of the two polarizing options. So what does this all have to do with Genie Rocket? Well, just like I mentioned earlier, without strategy, everything fails. It doesn't matter if you're doing email marketing. It doesn't matter if you're doing text marketing. It doesn't matter what you're posting on social. If you don't have a strategy and you don't have a story to tell, you don't have a problem to solve, and you don't know who you're talking to, then it's all going to be for nothing. Is it not true that people are making millions every day from Meta ads? True. Are you making millions from Meta ads? Probably not. So do Meta ads work or they don't work? Right? It's all subjective. You could say ads don't work for me. I would challenge you to say ads don't work because something is wrong with my strategy, right? The message is off. There's clearly something I am doing wrong that's preventing me from getting the results I want to get. I just turned ads back on today for Genie Rocket. We had them paused for a while because we were pursuing some other initiatives, and already got a lead in today. When we were spending 50 to 100 bucks a day, we were getting 10 to 15 leads in a day. About 50% of those were booking appointments. And at the highlight of it, I was doing like one call closes, almost one per day, which is pretty awesome. And that was a huge epiphany moment to me of like, hey, all of this stuff is possible. But the reason that worked is I had the right strategy. I knew the product that we were selling was highly desirable. I priced it really well. I had a great ad that hit on a nerve and showed that we can solve a problem quickly and cheaply and be the bridge to get them the results they want without much friction. So when you can pull those things together, you can generate results. And so another option I would say, like if you are looking for executives and business owners and decision makers, typically if you're selling a medium to high priced item, like a high ticket offer, I would say anything above, $1,000 even. A lot of those aren't just one click ad buys like done. You're wanting to build a relationship, right? That's why I put on free marketing workshops. That's why I have a podcast and I do videos and all these things, is because I want you to know me, like me, and trust me and build that relational bridge. So if I ask you to spend a lot of money, you actually feel like you know the person that you're hiring to do the work. So LinkedIn is great if you're looking for enterprise level work or executives, and you have to know it's building bridges. So, for example, um, if you want to ask for, or you want to ask for a connection request, you're going to say, hey, I want to connect with you. I'm looking for these kind of people in this part of town, and we're establishing a connection request. And after that, you might send another message. And there's actually a tool. It's not Genie Rocket, but there's a tool that we use. And I'm going to put my affiliate link in here just in case you do want to check it out. It's one that we've used. Um, it is called Dripify. And I'll put my link here. So if you use something like Dripify, you can automate that connection request. You can go to LinkedIn and do a search query and say, I'm looking for CEOs in Dallas. And it will pull up all the profiles of CEOs in Dallas. You put it in this tool, and it will drip, that's why it's called Dripify, connection requests to that audience. And if they connect with you, then it will automatically endorse one of their skills. I think you can make it like their page, and it will send another message, and it could say, hey Bob, so great to connect with you. Thank you for accepting my request. Would love to learn a little bit more about what you do. Do you mind sharing? Right. So you're engaging in a conversation. And guys, I will tell you, one of my best referral partners came from this. He ended up having coffee with me in person. He got to know me, like me, trust me, and now he's referring some of his biggest clients to me that are excellent relationships, and it's gone beautifully. And it's all because I did this Dripify campaign, right? And he even told me, it was funny. He said, I normally don't respond to these messages, but I saw you were local. I saw what you did. It was highly intriguing. And so I thought I'd reach out and connect. And that led to coffee, which led to business and led to great referrals. And now I'm helping him out with a few things. And it's great. Is that guaranteed? No. Is anything in marketing really guaranteed? No. If anyone guarantees you anything, they are lying, right? Like we can say, like, we can try to get you in front of X amount of people. We can work to get X amount of clicks. We can try to get this many leads. But at the end of the day, it is completely out of anyone's control unless they are selling you an old, outdated spreadsheet that they have actual numbers they are looking at, and they're just selling you data they've already collected. But if you are generating leads, whether it's organic or paid, nobody can tell you with 100% certainty what you're going to get. Why? Because marketing is an experiment. It's just like going fishing. Can anyone guarantee you how many fish you are going to catch when you go fishing? We can probably get really close and give some good estimates, but no one with absolute certainty can say, hey, you're going to catch 9 fish today, guaranteed, or your money back. Nobody. So when you're doing marketing, you got to come in with that mindset. You've got to say, hey, we are going to do our best job of putting the best bait on the hook, throwing it in the best ponds where we believe our dream customers are in, and we're going to see how many customers take the bait to have a conversation. And I don't mean that in a way that we're trying to trick people or manipulate people. It's just a great analogy with fishing, because when you think about your audience as fish and what channel they're on as the body of water, that's a really great way to wrap your head around it in a story that's outside of just saying Facebook and leads, right? It's, hey, we think all of the bass fish are in this specific area of the country and in this specific pond, and we're going to see if this bait that we're going to throw in, if they're interested in that right now. Right? So how does that work with your message? Hey, we believe our dream customers are on Facebook and Instagram, and we really think they're between this age group, and most of them are in this city, and we're going to try out this little message, this hook, this bait, to see if anyone is interested in having this solve their problems. We can have a conversation with them. Right? Super easy. Think of it just like fishing. That's what you're doing. So the beauty is, if you didn't know, inside of Genie Rocket, you can set that all up. And if you're not on Genie Rocket and you happen to be catching this on YouTube or a replay, you can go to genierocket.com and you can do a free consult, and I'm happy to show you what that looks like. But what's beautiful is if you are wanting to run some ads in Meta, like Facebook, Instagram, and now even on Google, you can do that all in that platform. And just remember that the way that people are going to interact with your brand, you need to create some sort of curiosity. That's why we talk about the challenger mindset to say, hey, before you buy blank, before you decide on this program, on this service, you need to watch this video or listen to this message. That's a great way to get people that are already in a sales mindset to make a decision, um, to watch your message and listen to you. And again, in that message, you're not bashing the competition. You're not saying everything else is bad except for me. But what you are doing is you're highlighting that, hey, while some of these other services, products, or programs are good, this is why a lot of people like you choose a program, product, or service like this and how it's helping them get results. And if that sounds like you and you're interested in getting my help, here's what to do next. So really simple. So you can launch Facebook ads and Instagram ads and even Google ads inside of Genie Rocket now. So if you are on Genie Rocket and you go into marketing and you go into manage ads, there's a very easy way that you can click in there. You can connect up your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your Google Ads account, and you can actually launch and run ads right in there. It's incredible. All the stats pull in. You can set up automations. One of my favorite things to do is if you're trying to get more booked appointments, you can make it where as soon as a lead comes in, you can automatically send out a text message that automatically works with your calendar and tries to get people booked in to a meeting with you. That's how we've booked a lot of meetings. I'm going to pause for a second, see if anybody has anything on either Zoom or YouTube, any questions. I want to make this partial, kind of like open office hours for Genie Rocket. I know I've talked a whole lot, but I wanted to share with you some really important thoughts that I feel a lot of conviction around when it comes to strategy and how to set you up for success. You can see I still have my Hobby Lobby family over here. Apparently, my actual pictures of my family got lost in the mail. So for like the past month, I've had fake Hobby Lobby family pictures over here. I'm sure several people have watched my videos, being like, "What? Who are those people? Why are there two ladies with babies?" All right. So we've talked a little bit about the strategy behind ads, how to have a challenger mindset to generate more leads. We talked about the analogy of fishing to marketing, thinking about your dream customers as fish, the channel to use as the body of water, and your ad as the bait and hook for how you want to attract those fish or those people to have conversations with them. I gave you a special link here in chat if you want to try out Dripify for LinkedIn. It is not Genie Rocket. It's not affiliated with Genie Rocket. This is, however, my affiliate link. So I do get a very small kickback if you decide to sign up. That's your way of thanking me for introducing you to this tool. And this is what automates connection requests with LinkedIn. So if your dream client is an executive or CEO, or you think that the body of water or the channel that they're on is LinkedIn, that's a great tool for LinkedIn. So I highly recommend it. It's what landed us one of our biggest referral partners to date. That has been a very great, healthy relationship. I'm actually trying to make it to the end of this without even sharing my screen and sharing Genie Rocket, which I'm very close to doing. I'm seeing if I can just do this as a coach and just talk to you guys and talk about strategy and leads. Getting a lead is such a cool dopamine hit. I know we have it connected to our Slack channel. So every time a lead comes in or appointment gets booked, it just dings our channel so the team can see. And it's a fun celebration. It's cool, especially when you know there's automation happening in the background. The worst is when you get a ding and you know that you've got to be the one to stop what you're doing and do all the work. Um, I like it knowing like, hey, this just triggered an automation sequence. They're getting a text right now. They're getting an email. It's trying to get them to book an appointment. And I can answer all their questions if they just show up to the appointment. We had a lead come in today and just started blowing up on text, asking all these questions like, when can I get leads? And how much is it going to get? How much is it going to get? Going to cost? And can I get work from this? And we just had to tell them like, hey, we're going to answer all your questions on the Zoom call that you already have scheduled. As long as you show up, we're going to take care of you. So, guys, I don't see any questions popping in. Last call for questions. If you are not on the Genie Rocket tool, which is powered by High Level, go to genierocket.com and click on the consultation, and you're going to have a call with me. And I would love to hear about your business, what you're doing, how it works. We are not a great fit for everybody, but the people that we do work for and with, we have a great relationship. We get results together. We have a lot of fun, and it follows a very specific framework. We're not just, shooting arrows in the wind. Like, we are talking about strategies to get results. I want you to remember, whether you work with me or someone else, marketing is just an experiment. Nobody can guarantee you anything. But if you follow proven frameworks and you go through some really good strategy, you're probably going to get some really good results. No great brand was built overnight. No great brand was built by just one thing they implemented that changed everything. All great brands were built brick by brick, step by step, drip by drip, and it takes work. You have to build it. You can't buy it. Now, you can pay for strategies and tactics and all the things to add to those drips and bricks, but it takes time. So I want to encourage you to be persistent, be consistent. Don't be afraid to optimize when needed. And you've got to keep your head in the game. When other people tell you, hey, you just need to stop, it's not worth it. Um, I was talking to a young kid who is only 19 and is probably going to be doing like $1 million in business this year. And he was like, yeah, all my friends tell me like I need to sleep more and I need to rest more and I need to do all these things. And some might argue that that is the truth, but he's also a single guy living at home. This is his time to double down and build the business of his dreams and set that foundation. So when he does get married and does have kids, he's got that strong foundation to fall on, and he doesn't have to do that anymore. So I told him the opposite. I was like, man, keep doing what you're doing. Like, yes, you've got to sleep, and yes, you've got to take some breaks, but don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Keep going, because this is your time. So I want to tell you that, for those of you listening, is don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Like, entrepreneurship is hard. Business is hard. You're not doing this because you just opted for the easy way or you'd already be out, right? Like, this is not easy. The map is not the terrain. Meaning, if you know, like, hey, I want to do $1 million in revenue this year, like, you might plot that out on a map, but you don't necessarily know the terrain to get there. You don't know the mountains and the valleys. All you know is where you want to go. And when you work with someone like me, we help you navigate that unknown terrain. Because guess what? I don't know all the terrain that you're going to have to go through either, but me and guys like me know some of the strategies to help you be prepared for some of the unknown terrain. So when you do hit those walls, it's a lot easier to go over them instead of falling down them. What in the world does that mean? So, for example, let's say you have ads that aren't working. It's like, do we spend more on the ads? Do we spend less on the ads? Do we stop ads altogether? Like, what do we need to do? If you're climbing up the wrong mountain and you're spending way too much money on the wrong ads and wrong message with the right offer to the wrong people, that's a great way to lose a lot of money and lose a lot of time and lose a lot of hope in your business, right? As opposed to, hey, if we make these 3 pivots, we're going to change the offer, change the message, change the strategy, and then all of a sudden things start to work. That could be the difference between like having the best year of your life or having a failure of a year. So make sure that you've got the right people that can help you navigate that terrain. I would encourage you to put the plot on the map of where you want to be. So at the end of this year, how many clients do you want? What's the revenue number you want to make? And then do your backwards math of how many clients do I need to get to this revenue, or how many people do I need to talk to get this amount of clients? And then when you have those really specific numbers, then it makes all the growth, all the marketing a lot easier. If you and I had a call and you said, hey, Brad, I need to get 4 new clients a month. That means I need to get 1 new client a week. Then the question is, okay, how many people on average do you have to have meetings with to get 1 client? So that's the way that you can start to think. Instead of saying like, I'm never going to make $1 million, $3 million, $5 million. Like that's impossible. There's no way I could do that. Start thinking, hey, what would it take if I actually wanted to make $1 million this year, which is $83,333 a month? How many new projects would that take? How many people would that take? And how do I get there? Because guess what? Other people have done it. It's not impossible. You just have to break it down into real simple math and then have a conversation with me or someone like me and figure out, hey, how do I get 4 leads a month? This is my business. What do I need to do? Right? Have that conversation instead of I need to make $1 million a month. Say, I need to get 4 new customers a month. I need help with that. And there are ways to get that help. So, guys, I'm going to sign out here. If you would like to have a conversation with me directly, I'm going to put that in chat here too. You can book time with me. This is just like a quick 15 or 30-minute consult. I don't make that available all the time for everybody, but if you want to book time with me to talk through some of this, happy to do it. If you want to look at Dripify for your business for LinkedIn automation, I highly recommend it. It's been wildly helpful for me. I'm putting that link in here. And thank you guys for watching. I'll be on again. Also, one last thing is the Business Accelerator Mastermind I usually do on Fridays. This week, I'm doing it on a Thursday because I have to head out of town on Friday for my daughter's cheer competition. But if you are on YouTube on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, we are going to be broadcasting it live. I'm going to show you the 5 emails that you need to be sending out to your existing customers if you don't want to lose money. This is going to help you make more money, get more sales conversions from 5 very specific emails that are super easy to implement in your business. I'm also going to give you those templates. So if you can be here in person with me, I'll be at the offices at Caddo offices. And if you go to bamrsvp.com, I'll put that link in the chat. You can RSVP there. We do have very limited seats here. So if you want to come in person, make sure you RSVP. It's free to grab a seat. Otherwise, join me right here on YouTube live. If you come to my channel, you'll be able to see the live button. You can also subscribe to this channel to get notified when we are going live with things like this. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a blessed and fantastic rest of the week. I will catch you all next time. This has been